anyways, let's go ahead and get into today's video. Sit back, relax, grab a snack, some water, some wine, anything that warms your little heart, and enjoy a crazy ass story. Warning, this video may contain details of graphic content. This channel is for mature audiences only. Some viewers might find this disturbing. Located just northeast of Houston, the city of Katy has a population of 16,158, according to 2015 statistics. On June 24th, 2016, a 911 dispatcher received a chilling call. At first, the dispatcher did not hear a single voice talking to her, as was the norm for most calls. Rather, she could hear several voices in the background. Then she heard the sound of a female crying and the words, quote, "Please forgive me. Please don't shoot," end quote. This was followed by a male voice that begged, quote, "Please don't point that gun at her," end quote. While a gunshot sounded and the female voice yelled to the dispatcher, quote, "I'm shot," end quote. The dispatcher answered, "Hello, what's the address?" There was no response. The phone went dead. Okay, so sign up. Y'all know I gotta add my 2 cents, but I don't know if I could be a 911 operator. I was about to say a 911 caller. A 911 operator, because if I hear someone get shot on the phone, I'm probably gonna lose it. So I don't think that job would be for me. But I think they take like therapy, or they get therapy sessions or something like that. Like, I don't know. That would just be too much for me to handle. But anyway, I digress. That phone call originated from the home of Jason and Christy Sheats. This name sounds familiar, Christy Sheats. Christy, age 42, born in Decatur, Alabama, as was Jason. They were childhood sweethearts who eventually moved to Katy, Texas, raising their 2 daughters, 17-year-old Madison and 22-year-old Taylor. Jason worked for Oxy, a Houston-based oil company, as an IT consultant. In recent years, the Sheats had experienced marital problems, and Jason was planning to divorce Christy. On the day of that fateful phone call, it was Jason's 45th birthday, and Christy had called a family meeting around 5 p.m. Jason and their daughters expected the meeting to be about the looming divorce. The family gathered around the dining table. Whoa, within seconds, the unimaginable occurred. Christy pulled out a .38 caliber revolver that she had been hiding under the table. She pointed it at Taylor and shot her in the back as she tried to run away from the table. Christy then turned to Madison and shot her in the neck. Jason ran into refuge behind the living room couch before fleeing with his daughters out the front door. So she killed her children, or she shot her children. Oh my gosh. The daughters only made it to the street before both of them collapsed. Christy started running toward Taylor, who was lying on the street, while a neighbor offered Jason shelter in her home. The police, who arrived in time to witness this chaos, used trees and parked cars as shields. They saw Christy kneeling over Taylor's body. Oh my god. Wow. Ready to shoot her a second time. Police ordered her to drop the gun. When she refused, they shot her. A medical helicopter took Taylor to a local hospital where she died on arrival. bodies lay on the street in front of their home. The gun that Christy used was a gift from her grandfather, to whom she was extremely close. Oh my goodness, I know he felt so guilty. Oh my goodness. He probably was giving it to his granddaughter because, you know, to use it as protection, and she used it on her own children. Oh my goodness, that's freaking devastating. Christy was deeply impacted when her grandfather died in 2012. Oh wait, he died. Oh, okay. Well, I know he's looking down, mad at her, and upset. Compounding her grief was the fact that her grandmother died 2 months later, and then on top of that, a divorce. Yikes. Jason would later tell detectives that his wife suffered from depression during this time and became a heavy drinker. She had been admitted to a private mental health hospital for attempts 3 times over a 4-year period. Jason stated that Christy took a variety of prescription medications and was seeing a therapist. A neighbor informed the police the couple had separated but then recently reconciled. Before the shooting, Christy had no history of violence towards others. Wow. Christy had stopped working after the death of her grandfather. Previously, she had worked as a hairstylist, as an executive assistant to the vice president of a transportation company, and as a receptionist at Clean Canvas Tattoo Removal. This was a part-time position that she had held from January 2015 to May 2015 when she was fired. The owner, John Hollis, had originally thought that Christy was the perfect fit for the job. In an interview with People, he stated, quote, "She was very pleasant when she wanted to be. That was in front of customers," end quote. He went on, "The times when she wasn't pleasant were times where when I assumed that whatever was going on at home was getting to her." John also indicated that Christy has spent some time living in an apartment away from the rest of the family. She would flip-flop in her explanations about this to John, sometimes saying that she was separated from her husband and other times stating that she was going to divorce him. "It was erratic. It was highs and lows," John continued. "I wouldn't say it was deterioration. I would say it was peaks and valleys." The interviews conducted by the media with those who knew her and through the Sheets' active use of social media provide a different perspective on Christy. A friend, Catherine Knowles, commented to People magazine, quote, "She loves her daughters. I have no idea what could possibly make a mother who loves her daughters as much as she did. What could cause a person to snap? Yeah, especially, I don't know. I know she couldn't have been in her right mind. But, I mean, that doesn't excuse anything, but, I mean, that's just insane to just, I don't know, your own children. I can't even imagine. And they probably, like, the children, or, I mean, they were, like, young adults. They probably, like, tried to help her get through this hard time in her life and gave her advice and comforted her. So, I don't understand. Okay. "The part of Christy that I knew was a very kind, loving mother," Knowles continued. "Within 20 seconds of meeting her, we were talking about her being a mom. That was her mission in life. That was her everything. Her 2 daughters. On Daughter's Day, in September of the year prior to the shooting, Christy posted the following message to her Facebook account, quote, "Happy Daughter's Day to my 2 amazing, sweet, kind, beautiful, intelligent girls," end quote. She wrote, "I love you and treasure treasure you both more than you can ever possibly know. 3 years before the shooting, Taylor posted the following message to her Facebook account, honoring her mother on Mother's Day. Quote, "Mom, you are so selfless, as you always put our whole family before yourself and never ask for anything in return." End quote. The post read, "You're so kind and loving, as you always remind us of just how much you care and how proud you are of everything we do. You're so intelligent and fun to be around because I feel like I can talk to you for forever now about anything." The post concluded, "You're one of the strongest people I know, if not the strongest. You have had to overcome so much in your life, but you still managed to love us and put your everything into being a mom. Oh my God, this is touching my heart. You're so encouraging, as you always push us to do our absolute best, even when we can't muster up the strength to do it ourselves. You're such a blessing to have as a mother and a friend, and I truly appreciate you in all that you do. Happy Mother's Day to my amazing mommy, and I love you." Oh my God, that was so touching. If I could find the post, I'll definitely put it on the screen because I need to see it for myself. 2 years before the shooting, Christy posted on her Facebook page, quote, "I am truly a Southern girl. I was born in Alabama, but I've been living here in Texas for 15 years. I have 2 amazing daughters I simply adore. They are my everything. I thank God for every breath He allows me to take." End quote. I just don't understand. I don't understand. Like, she really loved her daughters. Unless, obviously that's what was portrayed on Facebook. But I really feel like she really loved them, so why would she do this to them? When a reporter for the Houston Chronicle interviewed one of Christy's neighbors, Austin Inke, he stated, quote, "They were always cheerful and never depressed. You never heard anything bad about them," while another neighbor told a local news station, "The mother was nice. You wouldn't expect it if they told you this is what was going to happen. I don't think anybody, at least a sane person, would do that." Exactly. In one Facebook post, Christy referred to herself as being Baptist, as well as a conservative and strong supporter of the Second Amendment, which provides the right for gun ownership. In one Facebook post, she wrote, quote, "It would be horribly tragic if my ability to protect myself or my family were to be taken away. But that's exactly what Democrats are determined to do by banning semi-automatic handguns," end quote. On the day of the killings, Christy and Jason had gotten into an argument over Taylor, who had a fiance, Juan Sebastian Luka. Taylor and Juan started seeing each other in 2011, and he had given her a promise ring in 2013. Christy wanted to ground Taylor and prohibit her from seeing Juan. Jason argued that he was agreeable to grounding Taylor, but they could not forbid her from seeing Juan. Others knew Jason to be a doting father to his daughters. The reason for Taylor's punishment was not known, but later that morning, Jason told Christy, quote, "This will be the last birthday that you are going to ruin." After the shooting, Madison Davey, a friend of the Sheats family, spoke to a local news reporter and related a conversation that he had with Jason on the morning of the shooting. According to Davey, Jason said he had told Christy on the day of the shooting, "Just shoot yourself. Make it easy on all of us. Just shoot yourself." I honestly have to agree with him on that. Like, if you depressed, don't take nobody out with you. Especially, like, innocent people that don't deserve it. Like, if you're feeling that, no, never mind, I take that back, because now it's gonna seem like I'm encouraging to take yourself out of here, and I'm not. So, scratch that. I'm gonna edit that out. He said Christy replied back to him, "No, that's not what this is about. This is about punishing you." Oh my god. So, the only way to punish him is to take something that's so precious to his heart, which is his own daughters. Madison then told the reporter, quote, "I always knew something would happen, but I never thought she would do this. Christy was toxic for the family. She was mentally unstable. He, Jason, would do anything to protect them, and he tried to, but Christy was out to kill that day. Police believe that Christy shot their daughters because that will cause the greatest pain for Jason, adding that Christy could have easily just killed Jason if she wanted, knowing how much Jason loved his girls. Killing them and letting him live would create the greatest suffering for him." Oh my god. I know things will never ever be the same, but I just hope that he's getting the healing that he deserves. And yeah, we're gonna move on to the next story. Luka Magnotta. Luka Magnotta, whose birth name was Eric Clinton Kirk Newman, that's a mouthful, was born July 24th, 1982 in Scarborough, Canada. Clinton's troubled past, including a track record of attention-seeking, would culminate in him becoming the subject of the largest manhunt in the history of Montreal, which would eventually extend internationally. In New York and Donald Newman, Luka's parents separated when he was very young. Luka was the oldest of 3 children. He and his 2 younger sisters were sent to live with their grandparents. Newman's high school teachers and classmates remembered him as self-obsessed about his looks. Newman dropped out of high school and began working as a stripper at a Toronto's nightclub at the age of 19. Okay. He worked as an escort and appeared in pornographic videos, gay and straight. Newman perpetrated his first crime in his early 20s. He won the trust of a woman with a mental handicap and persuaded her to apply for credit cards. Newman committed fraud by making charges on the cards that totaled $10,000. He was also suspected of sexually touching women. The SA charges were dropped due to medical reports that indicated Newman had a significant psychiatric issue. Instead, Newman was found guilty on 4 counts of fraud and received probation and community service. Looking back at the decision to drop the charges, Newman's defense attorney stated that this had changed the course of Newman's life, and the impact was immeasurable with huge ramifications for our society eventually. Newman then began dating a transgender woman who would later tell investigators that Newman wanted to be famous, wow, and would beg her to take pictures of him. She described his apartment as looking like a shrine dedicated to himself. Their relationship lasted several months before they broke up. Shortly afterward, Newman changed his name to Luka Magnotta. At the age of 25, Luka auditioned for reality television shows in his continued effort to become famous. During an audition for one of the shows, he told the judges, quote, "Some people say I'm devastatingly looking good," end quote. Another show he auditioned for was Plastic Makes Perfect, which features contestants who have had plastic surgery. He told the judges during his audition, quote, "I've had my nose done, I have had 2 hair transplants, and I'm planning on having muscle implants in my pecs and my arms," end quote. Luka failed to make the cut for any of the shows. When his efforts to get on television failed, Luka became heavily involved with social media, opening multiple accounts on Facebook and other platforms. He used accounts that were set up under aliases to spread rumors about himself, and then used accounts that were established under his real name to defend himself. Now that's local. That's crazy. Why would you do that? His online efforts to promote himself took a disturbing turn in 2010 when he posted a video link to his Facebook page titled 3 Guys, 1 Hammer. Ew. The video showed a man being brutally beaten, oh my god, and killed. Luka did not have any involvement in the murder, but personalized the posting with the tag, quote, "Luka is unable to live unless there is chaos in his life. It makes him feel as though he matters," end quote. Just before Christmas that year, he posted a second video called 1 Guy, 2 Kittens. The video showed an unidentified man. His face was not visible, using a vacuum cleaner to suck the air out of plastic bags that contained 2 kittens. What? Outrage over the kitchen video led to the formation of Facebook groups whose mission was to locate Luka and bring him to justice. The groups collaborated with law enforcement, but their efforts yielded minimal results during their first year of investigation. Luka's online activity was rampant in early 2012 as he posted countless blogs about necrophilia and sedatives. Toward mid-year, an online promotion for a yet-to-be-released video titled 1 Lunatic, 1 Ice Pick surfaced. The animal rights groups looking for Luka believed he was responsible for this video as well. On May 25th, just a few days after the promotional video had been released, the full video of 1 Lunatic and 1 Ice Pick appeared online. The 11-minute video opened with a shot of a naked male tied to a bed frame. The person operating the video camera, who is not visible to the viewer, violently attacks the restrained man by repeatedly stabbing him, first with an ice pick and then with a kitchen knife. Toward the end, the assailant removes a okay, no. Moving on. On May 29th, the receptionist on the 12th floor of the Conservative Party's headquarters received a package. She started to open it but became suspicious when she noticed blood stains and detected a protruded smell. Staffers called the Ottawa Police Department, who responded with a hazmat crew. When they opened the package, they found a human foot. 2 elementary schools, St. George School and Falls Creek Elementary School, both received similar packages on June 5th. The St. George package contained a right foot, while the package sent to Falls Creek contained a right hand. The packages were sent from Montreal, where Luka was living. Around the same time, other packages showed up containing body parts. A package containing a left hand was located at the processing facility of the Canadian Post Office. The package was addressed to Canada's Liberal Party. On May 25th, a janitor for an apartment building in Montreal noticed a suitcase in the building's alley. Inside it, he found a badly decomposed torso. Police interviewed residents in the area where the torso was found, looking for possible clues. While conducting their interviews, they learned that Luka had an apartment nearby. Police went to his apartment, but the apartment manager informed them that Luka had recently moved. When the manager led the police into the now vacated apartment, they found bloodstains on a mattress and table that Luka had left behind. Ew. Wait. Isn't the apartment like when one tenant moves out and that previous tenant leaves like furniture and stuff? Aren't they supposed to throw that out? Why would they keep that there? Unless it was like a rundown apartment complex that just didn't care, but yikes. They also found blood stains in the bathtub. Maybe the bathtub was clean, but they took that luminol stuff and, you know, found traces of blood stains. So that's what I want to think. Police discovered the following message written in red ink on the inside of a cupboard door. Quote, "If you don't like the reflection, don't look in the mirror. I don't care." Okay, end quote. They then viewed the video from the apartment security camera. The video showed an individual resembling Luka carrying out a large number of garbage bags. On May 30th, 2012, detectives got a hit on the identification of the body parts. They belonged to Lin Jun, a Chinese national who was attending Concordia University in Montreal. On July 1st, Lin's decapitated head was found by a visitor at the edge of a lake in Agriemnon Park in Montreal. The Montreal police issued an arrest warrant for Luka, which was later upgraded to an arrest warrant applicable throughout Canada. Luka's faced charges included first-degree murder, committing an indignity to a dead body, the publishing of obscene material, mailing obscene, indecent, immoral, or scurrilous material, and criminally harassing the Canadian Prime Minister or members of Parliament. A red notice was issued by Interpol on May 31st, 2012, and Luka's photograph was posted on the Interpol website. The red notice gave any Interpol member state permission to arrest Luka pending extradition back to Canada. Unbeknownst to Montreal authorities, Luka had flown to Paris May 25th using his own passport. After the Interpol red notice was issued, Paris officials were able to track his movement by following his cell phone signal. They tracked him to a hotel in the city of Magnotta. However, he had left by the time police arrived. Authorities found pornographic magazines in his hotel room. From Paris, Luka flew to Berlin, Germany. On June 4th, Berlin police located Luka in an internet cafe in a district of Berlin, I don't know how to pronounce that, where he was reading the latest news about himself. Luka appeared in a Berlin court June 5th and was ordered to be extradited to Canada. A preliminary hearing was held in a high-security Montreal courtroom on March 11, 2013. Luka elected to have a trial by jury and pleaded not guilty. He did not deny that he had done everything that he was charged with, but claimed diminished responsibility due to mental disorders. The prosecutor argued that Jun Lin's murder was organized and premeditated, saying that Luka was purposeful, mindful, or organized, and ultimately responsible for his actions. Luka's attorney offered evidence that his client had been diagnosed with paranoid schizophrenia when he was a teenager. A psychiatrist for the defense, Dr. Joel Watts, testified that Luka showed symptoms of borderline personality disorder, histrionic personality disorder, and episodic schizophrenia. The prosecutor argued the symptoms described by the defense expert were the result of Luka's drug use as a teenager. Luka did not testify during the 12-week trial. The jury began deliberations on December 15, 2014, and by December 23rd, they found Luka guilty on all charges. He received a mandatory life sentence plus an additional 19 years for related charges. Though Luka filed an appeal claiming judicial error during jury instructions, he later withdrew it. There are many people in society who feel isolated from others and hungry for attention. When we act indifferently toward others, some of these people will raise the stakes until they get noticed. Luka was one such individual. Yes, he was. So that was the ending of the video. Thank you so much for watching. I love you guys so much. Please don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe if you haven't already.